Welcome back. Today I am going to be telling you about the questions feature in Google Classroom. So many of you have seen that there is an assignment that you can create called a question, and it's separate from the standard assignment and the standard quiz. So the questions feature is this unique little part of Classroom that kind of is both useful and not useful depending on how you use it. So I'm giving you three ideas on how to use it today. One is for general inquiries, and what I mean by this is just asking questions to the class. It might be to fuel future content for your lessons and assignments, or just generally getting to know your students. Another one is journals and personal entries that they can send to you. And the third one is to create a discussion or debate in your classroom. So here we go. You're on the classroom page now, and we just need to jump to classwork. So once you're on classwork, we're going to be looking at creating questions and exploring what you can do with these. So you can use them for all sorts of things. One thing I used them for was in my math class. I had the students go and ask their parents for ideas related to a math concept and then send it back. It's kind of like a journal response, but the idea is this is a very good way to get them to respond to questions, go get content and respond back, do some sort of journals. So basically, the first one is you can just ask a question. Now, I'm going to say, what is your favorite color? But, of course, in your classroom, you're going to probably want to have an actual question related to curriculum. So, what is your favorite color? You can put instructions if you want. There's not really a reason for it. I did it for mine if you're wanting more of a response, but for just a general question, just put the question. And again, you can attach stuff just like an assignment, but there's not necessarily a reason for it unless you want an image on here. Again, you have the option for due date and for points. So I'm just going to say ungraded, and it's due by tomorrow. And again, tomorrow at 11:59 or tomorrow at a certain time. So I'm going to actually say 8 a.m. Then, the key here is you have these two options on the end. Students can reply to each other and students can edit their answer. So the students editing their answer part is totally your choice. This depends on what you are using this for. But if you want them to be able to kind of expand on their ideas and build or correct themselves over time, then you're going to want to be able to let them edit their answer. Now, the students can reply to each other is the part where you can switch between a discussion or a question. So I'm going to uncheck it because we're just going to ask a question this time. And really, they don't need to edit their answer either, but I'm going to leave it on there just to show you what it looks like for them to edit their answer. So you have your question set up. It's that simple. The last thing is you can go up here and you can actually choose between whether you want it to be a short answer or a multiple choice. So you could do multiple choice and give them direct options. The only trick with that is there's not an option for them to add their own option. So this is more for if you're wanting to do a poll or something. If you're asking a general question or open-ended, you're going to want a short answer. And now I'm just going to say ask. And there it is right on top. What is your favorite color? And it shows up like this, and you can see two assigned. So I'm going to quickly jump to the student page. Now I'm viewing this from the eyes of the Tester Joe account. So Tester Joe, when he's looking, you can see on the stream, they show up here, so you can see the question that way. You can also, as a student, they're able to go to the classwork page and click it there to view it. So now you see what is your favorite color. There's an option for class comments, private comments, and your answer. So you have to kind of tell your students this and kind of specify, because class comments is a general comment, everyone will see that, and private comments is if you don't understand something you can ask the teacher a question, but those aren't the response. The response is gonna need to go in this type your answer part. So I'm gonna say blue, and then they can say turn it in. So it's similar to an assignment, just as a short answer box. And now it's turned in. Because we allowed them to edit, Joe can actually go and hit edit and change the answer if he wants, but you as the teacher will see the previous answer until you resubmit it. So if they do this and don't do anything, then you're already going to get the original answer still. So if you're logged on as the teacher and you're viewing the question, you can already see it says 1 turned in, so we can click that. And you can see on here, it's your standard assignment list with your turned in and your assigned. And you can see that Joe said blue. And you could also click on Joe and add private comments and whatnot. But as you can see, this is a fairly simple, it just shows the comment. So this is, again, just if you need to ask a question for whatever reason, it works well for that. Now we're going to do more of a discussion question where students can respond to each other. So let's go to create question. And I'm going to say, does pine apple belong on pizza? And I'll say justify and discuss. This is where you might want to add optional instructions here. You might want to say it is expected that you debate with each other. And then again, you can add content if you want. Maybe you have a video to hype up the discussion or the debate. Then we're going to go to this side. Again, I'm going to leave it ungraded and no due date this time. And we're going to leave it so students can reply to each other. This time I'm going to make it so students can't edit their answer, but again, this is probably more the one where you'd want it on. So you need to decide if you want them to be able to edit and modify or not, but we're going to look at students replying to each other. So now if I ask the question, we're going to jump to the student page. So back to the student page, this is Tester Joe again, and you can see it already has showed up in the stream. I'm going to pick it from the classwork page this time, so it shows up there, and we can click it and see the instructions. It is expected that you debate with each other, and everything is there. So the student can hit view question, and then they can type in an answer here. So they could say, obviously, it is delicious, or whatever wonderful comment a student will put for that question. Again, make sure they know that they need to do the turn it in button. And this time they get a warning that they won't be able to change anything. Okay, so now I'm viewing from my alias. It's a personal Gmail account that's in the classroom. And you can see that I've submitted here saying no way, all meat, no fruit. And it gives them the option to see classmate answers. So they can click that. And now they can see, oh, hey, there's Joe's. There's my own. So they can reply to Joe and say, no, this is gross. Again, this is an awful debate that I'm giving you, but that's the idea. You can now see people. It kind of threads everyone's comments, and you can reply to it and debate that way. So this is a different and interesting way to do a debate. It's nice because it creates threads, kind of, whereas if you just ask a question in the stream, they're commenting in a single comment line, and it's like Facebook without threaded comments. So the cool part about this is you get these threads, and the students can all see that. And then if you switch back to your teacher page, you can also view that when you go here, and you can see the debate happening. You can see all the discussion as it goes. You can join in, and it just works well to create a discussion. So this doesn't need to be a marked item, but it could be a way to create a classroom discussion in the virtual environment without always needing to use a video call where you can't necessarily have that debate as easily. Lastly, I just wanted to show this is one form of a way where you can do a journal-based entry. So I'm actually going to create a topic and say journals. And then you can create a question for the journals. So I don't know if this is the best way or the worst way, but it is a way you could do journals. So you can use a question, and you can say journal entry 2, and you can put a title in there, response to poem, And then you can create instructions in here. So this is where the instructions might come in more handy. You could say something like respond to the poem from class this week. How did it make you feel? And how do you relate to it? That might be awful, I don't know, but that is a way where you now have a journal entry that a student can enter and a journal response. We should probably say it's the journal entry 1 since it's the first one. Again, you can add a picture, you can add the poem as an attachment here, you can add a video or something else, or write-in tips. You don't want students to be able to reply to each other because it's a journal, but maybe you want your students to edit the answer. That's your choice. I'll leave it on. And then this is one where you might want to have points, so 10 points and a due date for the end of the week. And hit ask. Oh, and I forgot to put a topic there, but luckily you can drag it by clicking on an assignment and dragging it down. So now you've seen 3 different ways you could use the Google Classroom question feature. You can use it for just general questions, general taken information in. I used it as not as much for the what's your favorite color, but you can use it to essentially fuel your future assignments by using the data from it. You can use it as a discussion setup, so students can discuss, and it acts more like a forum with threads and replies, and it's a bit more structured. Or you could use it as private journals, and you can create a list of journal entries. That is all for today. I hope out of one of these ideas you kind of get an idea that will work for your classroom, something you want to use. If there is something else that you've thought of that's different from these that you think the question feature works great for, please drop it in the comments. Let us know. That is awesome. I love this feature, but it is definitely unique and we need to work to use it better. So I hope this helps. Again, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or requests, just comment or reach me at Twitter at WebTheFox. And otherwise, have fun with this. Happy teaching.